it doesn't go anywhere but into their parking lot.
What did we do with the street south of Arrow Tracks?
Well, that's the other half of this discussion, like I said, that was posted in the public hearing. I haven't proposed doing anything with it at this point because there are two different property owners that have a potential interest in that. In other words, the street is split between two properties. On the north end, there's only one property owner. It only affects one person. It is much easier to justify or to define what we're doing and why.
Has anybody showed any interest in the south part of that?
No. And we haven't approached anybody either.
We do have one of the property owners here.
No.
Would you like to talk or bring this up? Since we're discussing it, no decision we made for that part tonight because it's not part of the resolution, but.
Leroy Green, so you're removing this from the resolution, the south half?
The south half, yes.
Oh, okay. Must be confused, and Arnie Johnson, we both thought the city had talked to us about that. Arnie Johnson owns it. But I know we've talked to Tim Donnelly, it was very informally with you at a street hearing, I think. So that probably doesn't qualify, but I've had discussion about it, or he approached me about it. Seemed to be fully aware of it and interested in the west half. Most of the paved, the street that's being driven on is on his half, which is fine.
Right.
But I am interested in the other half, the east half.
And I apologize. I have not had an opportunity to connect either with Mr. Johnson or yourself to say, hey, we want to move this ahead and where are we at? And I didn't feel comfortable bringing this forward tonight and saying we're going to vacate it and having not had that formal conversation with you. That was my concern, Mr. Greenlee.
Well, that's fine. I'm in no hurry.
We're not going to close it though. We could vacate it and we'd only have to not take care of it. Is that right? If we vacate it, and they still have access to their properties?
Yes, it's no longer a public street.
Yeah.
It's now private property.
But when we vacate it, this means we're not going to maintain it. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So it wouldn't really affect them other than have to do their own snow removal and keeping the road up. Okay.
So are we talking about selling the north section or just giving, or what are we talking about?
Well, I had suggested that we simply vacate it, which means that it would just revert to the adjacent property owners.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know that it has to be a formal sale.
We're just putting it on the tax roll at that point.
You can, I mean, if we
Says
have a duty
vacate and
to,
sale.
we have a duty to dispose of it at whatever the fair market value would be, or alternatively, at what if there's some other benefit conferred upon us by that property owner. So, I mean, if they're trading us something or they're giving us some benefit that we can show, but we would, in the public trust, we would have to show, we would have to get whatever it's worth, or alternatively get some value for it, some benefit from it.
Property tax benefit?
The biggest benefit is the removal of our responsibility to maintain a public street, whether it be maintenance or snow removal.
Last time we sold a short street like that was to Mr. Jensen for $500.
Yeah, I think we put some nominal value on it, on the property, under the theory that there was some benefit to the landowner by increasing the space of his lot or the size of his lot.
Correct.
And we tried to keep the nominal value reasonable, but also and affordable, but also to show compensation that the city had for property we were disposing of. So I think we, politically, you're not required to have a number. It could be $1, but my advice is to have some nominal value that you think it's worth that increases the value of that property owner's estate, and or if there's some other benefit you get, like I don't know what it would be, that they're going to build a wall that's going to do something. I don't know what it would be, but some advantage to the taxpayer other than just getting rid of it off the doles is I think what you
I was thinking Mr. Jensen's case, he wanted to close off that street or something, cause it kinda split his property, and that's why he paid
Correct.
to
He had a
do
use
that,
for
so
it.
he could have, he had use for
So
it.
do these people, they have a
Yeah.
use for it.
Yeah, so. What are your wishes?
Well, we sort of did set precedents by selling it the last time. I guess, you know,
We're still in the public hearing, so.
We're looking at this, though, that we came to them with the situation because this railroad came to us and said we want to close that crossing.
Right,
As soon as we took that and enforced basically the closing of the crossing and forcing the road that wasn't really needed anyway scenario on there, I'm not sure that we classify that as a precedence by comparing it to the Jensen property sale. They came to us for the, if I recall, to acquire that property. So,
we're still in public hearing. Would you like to announce yourself?
Fred Miller, 48 10th Street. I was wondering, the other, with the railroad, I haven't heard any of that, concessions that they were made with the railroad, that they would put in a sidewalk across the highway part for closing that.
That was already arranged, yeah.